Welcome to tonight's training. I am your host, Mike Ahlers, and I'm going to be talking about how I lost over 60 pounds and keep it off easily. Um, don't say that lightly. I was over 240 pounds, and I'm now have lost over 60 pounds. I'm down to 181, and I'm the leanest I've been in over 25 years. I tell you that up front because if you're a busy person, busy guy, married, family, kids, dog, business, and all that stuff, tonight I'm going to show you how to once and for all get lean and stay lean. And you're talking to a guy that actually did it. So I'm going to get started and move through this. We've got a lot to cover, but I promise you we're going to eliminate a lot of confusion that you have, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did to get lean. All right, let's do it. So again, how I lost over 50 pounds. That was the original title about a month ago. Now it's up to 60. I think I didn't change it everywhere. But anyway, so who's this for and who this isn't for? So if you're a person, like I said, if you're a busy person like me, you're busy, you're an entrepreneur, you have business, you're married, you've got kids, you just have a busy life, and you don't have time to get in the gym and be working out 7 days a week for 2 hours a day, and all that craziness. I'm going to eliminate the complexity. I'm going to eliminate the confusion that that you might be having. So if that's you, this is who this is for. If this isn't, who's this not for? If you're happy where you are, you're relatively healthy, or you're healthy, you just have a few pounds to lose, and you've got the time to be in the gym 7 days a week, or you've got the money to buy, $200-300 of supplements every month and that kind of thing. Or even if you're super extreme and you want to get huge, be a bodybuilder, this is really not for you. There's other places you can get that information, but here is not the place. But if you're busy and you're wondering how do I get lean and healthy and keep it off, you are 1000% at the right place. So again, how I lost over 60 pounds and keep it off easily. I wanted to get lean and stay lean. I just didn't know how to do it. I mean, I'm an ex-athlete. I was always lean, but over the years, as we started having kids, raising kids and business, I just started packing on the pounds, and I came to a place where I just didn't know how to get lean easily without spending a bunch of time in the gym or a bunch of money to do that. Who am I? Why should you listen to me? I've talked about that a little bit, but apologize for the overlap on the screen there, but my software kind of does that. But there I am. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm an entrepreneur. Also, former Division I athlete. I played at the University of Montana. Go Grizz! And we homeschool. So, you throw that in there along with my kids are athletes and driving all over the place for that. I just don't have the time or the desire. I didn't have the time or the desire to be in the gym that much. I didn't have the time or the desire to eat, 6 or 8 meals a day of dry chicken breasts and broccoli and stuff like that. But I'm sure why you should listen to me, because I'm probably just like you, super busy and got a lot of things going on, but I found a way to get lean and stay lean. So let's talk about before. So, looking at this picture, there's a lot of comedy in this for me. There's also not comedy, because if you look at some of those pictures, people around me couldn't really see it, but I'm definitely a chunker. A chunker is like a chubby dude or a fat dude, and that's who I was. That's who I was. Look at the picture on the far right. You can see, look how big my face is. I didn't even know that. My wife and I are enjoying a nice dinner at True Foods in Austin. Great place, by the way. Look at this dude all the way to the left. Look at that belly. Just kind of a thick, a lot of guys look like that. This picture here with me playing a doctor, we do short film and stuff like that. My face is super round. even down here on the bottom left with my wife and my mother-in-law. Then you see me and my son when he went to iFly. The face is pretty much a legitimate circle, you know? So I wanted to show you that. A lot of people were like that. I didn't know. I thought, yeah, I'm out of shape, chubby, maybe getting a little fat, but that was about the extent of it. And like I said, I didn't know how to get out of this without spending a lot of time. I didn't know how to transform my body without that. So, you know, all those pictures are dating back, you know, as far back as probably 5 years ago. You know, but there's a major date that sticks out. And that date for me is November 17th, 2017. There's a lot of dates, you know, that we have birth dates and stuff like that, or special times, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all those different things go on in our life. But for me, on November 17th, 2017, I had a heart attack. That's crazy. I was never the guy. You know, in my family, I've always been an elite athlete. I had a 38-inch vertical leap. Always super lean. I probably stayed under 12% most of my college career, high school career, you know, even probably down in maybe the single digits and things like that, as far as body fat goes. Also, I could eat whatever I wanted to eat. You know, you fried chicken, pizza, whatever's in front of my face, burger, fries. I just scarfed it down, and that was it. So I always felt like I was immune to any health issues. And I'll say that even despite there being a family history of things like heart disease and even heart attacks, things like that in my family, I always felt like I was immune to that. You know, I'm the athlete. I'm fine. My body's strong, and I never saw this coming. Won't get into the details of it, but it was a scary, scary thing. And I was away. I'll just tell you real quick. I was away traveling, and ended up going to the hospital because my brother-in-law, who's an RN, told me to go do that because I just wasn't feeling right. Well, they ran some tests and said, Mr. Ahlers, we're gonna there's something going on, and we're gonna have to do some stuff. So 3 hours later, I'm on a table. Felt like I was in a spaceship, if you can imagine that. With on one wall was a bunch of TV panels, TV monitors, probably 6 of them. Ahead of me at the bed, kind of down where my feet are, behind there is a glass window with a bunch of teaching students behind there in the dark watching this. And then in the room is 4 or 5 three doctors and helpers and stuff like that. Long story short, they ran a catheter up my arm into my heart and gave me 2 stents. This is a guy that felt like he was immune to it. And it happened to me. I was concerned. It was a little weird because actually I was at peace about it if it was my time. Thought about my wife. I felt like she'd be okay. But then I thought about my kids. And in that operating room, I basically had a breakdown. I was crying like Snoopy, tears shooting out of my eyes. The doctors were like, "What in the world's going on?" And I told them I was just worried about my kids, and it was maybe one of the toughest times of my life that I had to face the consequence of what I allowed, of what I did in my life, and it was a thing like the door was closed, like I couldn't reverse time and go back and change it, and it was scary. Even though I was at peace that if I had to go, oh my gosh, I had so much regret at that time. So that's what happened. I had a heart attack. I had a freaking heart attack. So out of that was before. And if you look at these pictures again, maybe it's a surprise. Maybe it wasn't a surprise. But that was me, and that's what happened. So, you know, but out of that, you know, my heart was fine. Thank God. Didn't sustained very little damage. My heart's doing great today. But, you know, coming from that, I had a wake up call. I didn't know how to get healthy. I didn't know how to get lean again and get back to where I was. And I had a lot of confusion, a lot of confusion. How do I do that? I'd always been lean. I got fat, but how do I get back there? So, but here's the deal. You can do this. I did it, and you can too. This is me now, okay? These pictures are all really pretty new. I mean, they're no more than probably 6 weeks old, maybe 8 weeks with the one on the bottom left. The one in the middle was 3 weeks ago. I'm leaner than that now, which is amazing. I was gonna say crazy. It's not crazy. It's freaking amazing that a 54-year-old dude that had a heart attack can go from the fat guy that you saw just a couple of slides ago, that I can go from this to this, and I did it easily. And that's what I want to share with you today. So I know I spent a little bit of time on that, but I just felt it was important that you can see where I'm coming from. I'm a normal, regular guy like everybody else. And I was lost. I had a major health scare. And through the confusion, I was able to figure it out. I was able to crack the code to how to get lean and stay lean. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm going to talk to you about how to eliminate the confusion. For me, there's clouds of confusion out there that I feel block people from how to get lean, how to get healthy. The truth is out there. It's just hard to see it with all the freaking noise that's out there. So I'm going to break it down to you. And tonight, right now, we're going to eliminate that confusion so you don't have it. Okay. So let's start with the first thing. The first area of confusion is I have to have the right supplements and pills to get lean. Now, that's a little bit crazy because there's so much out there. In the past, you know what I did? I would go when I said, okay, I'm gonna start working out again. I would go right away, go buy like $200 of supplements. And I knew I was gonna spend that $200 to somewhere in there per month just for me, not even including if it was my wife and my kids. Then I started having, okay, I'm gonna scale down from 200 just to 100 for me. But it always ended up being like a couple $100, $300 a month in supplements. So for me, the confusion was I needed to have these to get lean. And the truth of the matter is you don't. The second thing is fad diets. Now, I laugh because there are so many diets out there. I mean, look at the screen. You've got Atkins, you got paleo, you got South Beach diet, you got keto, you got 10-day detox, you got, all these things. You got the Dukan diet, you got the rainbow diet. You got, you name it, the 5-2 veggie vegan diet. Folks, that's confusion. And what I want to tell you about that is diets, they all work and they all don't. There's a little hint there. All diets work and they all don't work. So through that, I had to wade my way through that and eliminate it. And I'll tell you what I did here in a minute. But this is the confusion that I'm talking about. Okay, so the next area of confusion is if I join the latest fitness revolution, I'll be good. I'll be good. And there's some things that. So with that, I didn't want to jump around. Like I love CrossFit. I think it's great. People do some really cool things. That would have been something for me in my 20s, maybe even 30s. I would have been fine with that. But I don't want to have the chance of getting a risk, messing up my shoulder or my knees or my ankles. And it's not just CrossFit. I didn't want to do any Olympic style lifts. I didn't want to be in the gym, doing this high intensity jumping around. And especially with where I was coming from, weighing over 200 pounds, 240 pounds, let me back up. I was also obese, technically, clinically obese. I didn't want to do that. And so I just decided to say, hey, I'm not going to do that. So if I join the latest fitness revolution. So, really those are the three things that were confusion. And what I will tell you is, so I have to have the latest, I have to have supplements to get lean and stay lean. I have to join a fitness craze to get lean and stay lean. I have to be on a fad diet to get lean and stay lean. Here's another one, another area of confusion. I have to go join the most expensive, fanciest gym in the world to get lean and stay lean. And what I want to tell you is that's all crap. It is all crap. Because in my mind, I thought about, now I was born in Germany. My mom's German. I'm half German. And, if you go to Europe, you'll notice something. You don't see as many overweight people. As a matter of fact, you'd be surprised, if you just kind of people watch, out of 10 people, you might see, one or two people that are kind of overweight, but probably not more than everybody's pretty thin. Not everybody's gunned up or muscled up or super, super lean, but they're just thin. And you know what? A lot of them, the European lifestyle, they're not knocking back open to supplements. They're not doing all those things. They just have their normal life and they stay pretty thin. And that led me to think, you know what? Forget about all that other junk out there. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the supplement thing. I'm not spending $100, $200 a month on supplements. I am not joining a fitness craze. I'm not going to be, in an expensive, super expensive gym thinking that's going to help me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any of it. I'm going to figure this thing out, create a way to get lean and stay lean for me, come hell or high water. I'm going to make this thing happen. And so that led me to embarking on this journey that I started. Now, I will tell you a couple things that I did for a little bit. I did try some things. I actually did keto a couple times where I yo-yoed back and forth, 3 weeks, lost a bunch of weight, kind of got off of it, got back on, lost some more weight from after gaining a little bit, came back down a little bit, and all those kinds of things. But I always told myself, as much as I know how keto works, it's not something for me that I would consider sustainable or something I'd want to do the rest of my life. I just didn't like any rules of what I can't do, because if there's anything that I'm told you can't do or can't have, there's a natural resistance. There's a natural human nature resistance in all of us that says, what do you mean I can't have that? So what I mean is, like, if all you can eat is dry chicken breast and broccoli every meal and rice, there's going to be kind of a point in time you're like, you know what, forget it. I want pizza. I want a burger, man. And you go do it. And then that long-term sustainability, you quit. This has been my experience. This is what I did. I quit that. Or you got to go work out 7 days a week, 2 hours a day per body part. I did that for years and I always quit. I always quit that. And that's when I wanted to do it, right? I just didn't stick with it. So for me to get to where I was, I want to introduce you and talk to you about the 4 pillars that I use to get lean and stay lean. So with that, I did have some non-negotiables, and that's really what I've been ranting about for the last minute or so is my non-negotiables. Number one, I'm going to eat whatever I want to eat. I want to eat the foods I love. That was a non-negotiable. No fad diet. Working out. I don't want to be in the gym 7 days a week or 5 or 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. That's a non-negotiable. I wanted to just work out just a couple times a week, 2-3 times a week. So that was a non-negotiable. I didn't want to feel like I had to rely on a gym, an expensive gym and an expensive equipment. That was a non-negotiable. So with that, here are the 4 pillars that I use day in and day out, week to week, month to month, to get lean and currently stay lean. The first one that I want to talk about is resistance training, because that's the area where, that most people, for me, especially ex-athletes, think, all right, time to get in shape. And, so they're going to go to the gym and go bonkers and go crazy. And it's not necessary. So for me, this pillar resistance training comes down to this. When you resistance train, The resistance training is designed to trigger a response by your body. And that response is, man, you're doing a lot of work that you normally don't do with your muscles. And so your muscles say, oh, we have to not only repair, but we have to grow. We have to grow and get stronger. And as all of you probably already know, as you get older, again, I'm 54, as you get older, you start losing muscle mass and bone density and stuff like that. And that's not good moving forward. So resistance training is important and should be one of the pillars that you have in your lifestyle. For me, again, the non-negotiable is I'm not going to be doing this 5 days, 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. So my resistance training has come down to 2 days a week. I hope you caught that. Not 5, not 6, not 4, 2 days a week I resistance train. And my total training added all together is less than 2 hours. It's probably about an hour and a half, sometimes even less than that. And I'm able to get what I need out of that workout. And by the way, when I say get lean and stay lean, I have maintained a 12% body fat now for several weeks now. I'm actually lower than that now. I'm probably between 10 and 11% now, which is it's amazing. And I don't need to try to get lower, but I have things that I want to do for my personal goals. But as far as resistance training goes, for me, 2 to 3 days a week, I say 3. I haven't even trained 3 days a week in over 5 months. It's only been 2 days per week. So there you go. The resistance training. Now, the second thing I want to go over with you is moving. Now, what I found was when I was the big guy, we'll just leave it at that. The big guy, when I was the big guy, the big obese guy, I found myself just laying in bed all the time. And my wife would be like, baby, you need to move. You're not moving. You're just laying around. You're not doing anything. And she was right. So the other pillar that I've added to what I do, is I just make sure I'm active and stay active and move and do things. Because I know at the end of the day that moving is more energy and it's going to help me stay leaner. Now, there's 2 left. 2 of these pillars that are left. I'm going to arrow forward here for a second, see what slide I have coming up next. But the 2 that are left are eating and mind. And we're going to pick the one. I'm going to pick eating because I know most folks, if I were to ask you what's most important in getting lean and staying lean, most people without any hint or anything will tell you probably eating. Everybody's heard abs are made in the kitchen. A lot of people, I would say maybe 30% would say, hey man, you got to work out. Some of them may say eating, some may say moving, but I want to talk about eating. And I want to tell you that 100%, the thing that I really zoomed in on that's made the big difference is my eating. Eating, people, that's where the secret is. Now, I feel like I'm telling you guys like this amazing secret that nobody knows, but I know you've heard that, but I will tell you to confirm it. Your eating is important. It's the thing that will allow you to be like Europeans and get lean and stay lean. However, there's some things that I do to make that easy. And I'm going to tell you, even kind of my schedule. I do incorporate what I call rest and reset, or, reset and repair time in my day, which comes down to not eating. I wake up in the morning, 7, 8-ish, and I won't eat anything till 4 o'clock. So I fast. And I know that's kind of a big term right now, intermittent fasting. I do that on a day-to-day basis. I kind of stumbled into that years ago and just kind of continued it in my journey. But I do that. And the thing about people here, intermittent fasting, for me, what it does, it allows my body to repair itself, repair the cells in your body, which is called autophagy. Get rid of old cells, dead cells, and replenish with new cells. It also allows your hormones to reset, your growth hormone, anything in your body that needs repair and reset, your body does it at that point in time. And then I eat all my food after that. So the eating is real important, but what I really want you to know is it's not just the eating, it's actually your own body's. If you're hearing one thing, I'm telling you right now, this is the thing that you need to key in on. You must know or have an idea of what your own personal energy requirement is. Your personal energy requirement is. How much energy does it take? Do you burn in a day? How much energy do you need in a day to sustain your body and the activities and things that you do? And it wasn't until I really zoomed in and honed in on this that I was able to make some substantial changes. The same changes that you saw earlier in my lean pictures. Now, with my software, I can't just zoom back to that real quick, but we'll flash back to that in a minute. So we've covered 3 of the 4 pillars. Resistance training is important. By the way, let me just give you a caveat to resistance training. It doesn't have to be just lifting weights. There's other programs, there's other things that are available that help you accomplish that, okay? Moving, staying active. Second pillar, that's going to help you burn more energy throughout the day. The third one, eating, which is critical. Knowing what your body's personal energy requirements is. That is a huge key. Knowing, there's something going on if you look at yourself currently, how you look, how much you weigh, the way your body is. There's energy that you're taking, there's food that you're eating that's contributing to the way you look, how much you weigh, and the way that your body looks. And so that personal energy requirement that I'm talking about is going to allow you to, if you hone in on that, really understand what it takes to there's people want to gain weight if you're thin, but most people in my place want to lose weight. And how do you do that? The eating is the key, guys. That's it. That's the main ticket. And I'll even say this, so much to the fact, when I started my journey, I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to do any cardio. I'm not even going to worry about no activity. I'm eliminating all the confusion, all the clouds, all the fuzz that's out there. And you know what I did? Start off, I just trained a couple times a week and just ate the way that I eat. And I started seeing pounds come off. So those are real important, folks. If you implement those things now into your life, you can make some changes. And I encourage you to do that, because you know what? I didn't know I was going to have a heart attack. Did you hear what I just said? I did not know that I was going to have a heart attack, but it happened. So if you're overweight, and if you are or not, go look in the mirror, look at your belly. If you can't see your feet, if you're fat or you're obese, you need to do something about it, and you need to do it pronto, because we don't know what the future holds. Okay. So there are a couple other things that I want to say about that. So these are the 3 pillars, right, that we've talked about. The last one I want to talk about is your mind, your mindset, or I like to say your set mind. Right now, your mind is already set. People talk about, I need to get a mindset. No, you have a mindset. Your mind is set. And that setness, if that's even a word, is delivering what you see in the mirror. Look in the mirror, and your mindset, the way you think, is directly responsible for what you're seeing. And I will tell you, it's getting the right set mind that's going to deliver the results. It's getting the right set mind that's going to keep you from self-sabotage. Along my journey, excuse me, I'm having to drink some water. Along my transformation, I ran into some issues that I had with some subconscious, like, self-sabotage that I didn't catch myself doing until like a week or 2 down the road. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm tripping. So those things are important. And the mind, your mindset or having a set mind is really the foundation to all of it. And it's important that we have those things and that you check that, that you do some things that has you thinking and acting the way in ways and taking action in the way that you should, in a way that's not self-sabotaging. Okay. Guys, it's pretty simple. I'm going to arrow back here to before. And you can see the before picture there, Big Mike. And I want to go to, let's go to the after. Bam! Guys, I hope I do not sound cocky. I'm just excited. And I'm so thankful that I went through this transformation. I went through this fire of adversity in my life, and I decided to take action. I decided to be responsible with that body that I have, because I have 3 kids. I've decided I took action because my 18-year-old son looked at me in the eye, crying, "Dad, I don't understand what you're doing. You're overweight and you can have a heart attack." That is a brutal moment when your kid or your loved one looks you in the eye and is communicating that. And you know what's sad about that? There was a time, they've been telling me this all along, but there was a time where I would get mad when they talked to me. When I would I would sneak in and go get a hamburger and fries when my wife already made dinner, and then I'd hide the bag in the trash and roll down the windows to the car so they couldn't smell it. I look back at that, it's like, what the hell was I doing? I had people giving me warning messages, talking to me, and I was ignoring it, and I'd get mad at them. It's ridiculous. I tell you that because I promise you, somebody watching this right now, that you're doing the same thing. So I took action. And so what I wanted to tell you, I really hope that this has helped you see. I hope it's helped you get out of the confusion, lose the confusion. No, you don't need supplements and pills. I took no supplements other than protein powder to supplement what I was doing. You don't need to have some fancy fad diet. I don't even have a diet. I don't even know what to call my diet, but I'm not on a fad diet. And no, you don't need the latest fitness revolution. You don't have to join the fancy gym and get put through some crazy workouts. You don't have to join CrossFit. Again, I love all those things. I love working out, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to get lean and stay lean. But what you do have to do, you have to take some action, and it can be really easy to do it, like it has been for me. So I want to tell you about something that I have, that if you're in a place and you're saying, "Hey, Mike, I get all that. I believe that. It makes sense to me. I can see myself with a lean body. I believe that it's easy to get fit through what you're doing, but I just don't know how to do it." Or, I've had people reach out and say, "Mike, I really need some accountability because I know how I am. And if I'm just kind of doing my thing in the dark when nobody sees me, yeah, I might stop by Krispy Kreme and get me that nice, flaky, crusty, sugary donut." So accountability is a big thing. But I also have a lot of people that say, "Hey, I just want shortcuts. I don't want to have to figure this thing out like you did. I've given you the foundation of what you need to do." But I have a lot of people that reach out and say that. So if you're that person and you're serious about your health and you want to have a conversation about how that might look and how it might be to work together, I do have some slots available. I will tell you that I'm very selective, that in the conversation, I will give you some absolute things that will help you on your journey. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we can work together. because I'm real selective. I want to make sure I'm working with the right people that are absolutely 100% committed to making that change in their life, not only for themselves, but for the people that they love. This is how you can do that. You can schedule a call with me. I don't think you can click this link, but if you write it down, um, that's available. Go to my calendar right there, calendly.com, EzPhysique / get lean, and that will drop a time for us right on my calendar. Now, I do want to tell you a little bit about the program, the EzPhysique beta program. Okay, my slide is not wanting to look the way it looked when I loaded it up. So I'll just tell you what it is. So the EzPhysique program is this. It's a coaching program. And I use the word coaching. It's called EzPhysique Private Client Beta Group, but it's a coaching program because with that, number one, you get a custom designed EzPhysique plan for you that includes everything. That includes how you eat, how you train, all of the things that I talked about in 4 pillars. It also comes with a private Facebook community where we have just amazing activity going on there where we can encourage and support each other. It also, the EzPhysique Private Client Beta program also comes with lifetime access to any boot camps that we have. So if we have a boot camp in wherever it might be in Texas, Florida, California, anything like that, you get in for free basically. So with that, that's what we'll talk about. This call that we'll get on is really for you. So I'm going to focus in on what your frustrations, what are you grinding against, what are your challenges, and how that might work for you. And then if it makes sense for us to work together, it makes sense. If it doesn't, no, it's no big deal. But that's what that call is for. So take some time, go here. This is where you can schedule a call with me to take more steps in your journey to getting lean and staying lean. So with that, I'm going to flash back up here to actually, let me show you something. I want to go to before and afters together so you can see it. It's all right there. What is that? That's what, there it is. That kind of tells the whole story. And, if I were to disseminate and cut all this thing down and to the essentials, that's it. Get lean, stay lean for life. And you can choose to be the guy on the left, or you can choose to be the guy on the right. I'm a guy. I'll tell you this. It's almost weird for me to look at these pictures and know that I'm the same person. I just have a different body. It's a little, I don't know. It's just kind of, so you can do that, and it's easy to do it. If you want to have a conversation about that, go on my calendar, schedule some time. It's as easy as going to Calendly, and I'll put that up there one more time. There. Schedule a call, and I will talk to you soon. So with that, I'm going to wind up this training. We're about 42 minutes out, and I'm just going to stop it there. And you guys I hope you take this advice and take some action for yourself and for the people that love you and care about you. Look forward to talking to you. Schedule a time. Talk to you soon.